Hi everyone, welcome to another basic EFT sequence demonstration. EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Technique, or tapping as it's also generically called. I use the style Emotional Freedom Technique based on Gary Craig. You can look him up, he's all over. He's on the website. But there's many different sequences, there's many different people that lead it. But essentially, it works with the acupressure points that are along the body. There's some main ones, and it is about acknowledging the issue, whatever is holding you back, whatever you feel is preventing you from living your life to the fullest, whether that's physical pain, emotional disturbance, mental disturbance, anything that you can think of, insomnia, chronic or localized. If you've just gone through a trauma or just had an injury or just done something, tapping and EFT is great to do immediately after, or even during an episode, during a state of being in dis-ease or discomfort, or insane pain. And it's great because all it requires is your hands, and really even just one hand, and intentional thinking. So let's get started, because I also really need tapping, and I figure I will just film myself doing it, and while I'm getting some healing, hopefully you are able to get something out of it as well. So the universal healing experience. It's all about sharing knowledge, sharing education, sharing free, accessible tools to help you through whatever you need help with, especially during these times. In 2021, we've globally gone through a lot. So I know that there are many people that need support, and here's an option that you can try. So I'm going to start. There are two soft spots, you can feel them just by your armpit, and these are actually, scientific side note, these are the main drainage sites for your lymphatic system. So this is where a lot of the toxins from your body get drained. And if it feels sore, this spot right by the armpit, that means there's a lot of buildup in there. And so this is really good to do even if you're not tapping, to just massage right near your armpit. So you could massage in your armpits too, but it's on the front, right underneath well, I would say in between your nipple and your collarbone, breastbone. So either one, pick a side, and you just massage into that a little bit, and then you'll repeat or acknowledge the issue that you're having. So whatever is the main issue, and it can be something generic like I'm feeling anxious, or even though I have this depression, or even though I have this fear of failing, or even though it could be anything, even though I'm having this knee pain. Whatever is at the forefront of your mind. So for me, I'm going to do feeling overwhelmed by others' expectations of me. So that will be mine, and you can either imagine that too or imagine what's relevant to you. So even though I feel overwhelmed by others' expectations of me, I completely love myself. So you're acknowledging the issue, you're acknowledging what's holding you, what you've been holding on to, and then by acknowledging it, you're allowing it to rise to the surface, and then you accept yourself. And then as it rises to the surface, as we go through the sequence, it will be able to be released. Think of like a cup overflowing. So as it comes up, it will be able to flow over to the side, instead of just staying in that overflow, that pressure zone. So even though I feel overwhelmed by others' expectations of me, I deeply and completely accept myself. So I'm acknowledging the issue, and I'm also following it up with, This is who I am. This is how it is. I'm not trying to control that, but I would like to change it. And so self-acceptance is a kind of the core, not kind of, it is the core. It's at the root of how you change something, because you acknowledge your own responsibility. By accepting yourself, you're acknowledging your own acceptance of what you can do to change it. You are validating yourself, and you're accepting your position to change. And you're acknowledging what needs to be changed instead of repressing it. So it's all about opening and then releasing. So we'll repeat that a couple more times. So even though I feel overwhelmed by others' expectations of me, I completely love myself. Even though I feel overwhelmed by others' expectations of me, I completely love myself. Even though I feel overwhelmed by others' expectations of me, I completely love myself. And then I'll go through the sequence, and you could repeat the whole thing. Even though I feel overwhelmed by others' expectations of me, I completely love myself. Or you can just repeat the issue that you're having, the main block. So this overwhelming feeling. And then you're going to, so that's at the crown chakra, that's right at the top of your head. That's at the very tippy top, center of your head. And then you're going to tap, I'm just using 2 fingers. You can use 1, 2, you could do your whole hand, but you just want to get mostly that spot. The next point is where the eyebrow starts in the middle of your face. So there'll be the inner eyebrow and then the outer eyebrow. So that bone, that brow bone, you're following that. So the second point is where the bulk of the eyebrow starts. My hair goes all the way through, so there really is no start and end, but it's the start of one of your eyebrows. Alright, just a little bit extra for you. So, this overwhelming feeling. And then the third point is at the external eyebrow. So that's at the bone where your eyebrow ends. This overwhelming feeling. The fourth point is on the bone, the highest cheekbone right underneath your eye, but you're not touching your eye, you're right on the edge of that bone. This overwhelming feeling. And then I'm going in between my nose and my upper lip. This overwhelming feeling. And I'm just tapping, using moderate pressure. I'm not really digging in, using more my nail rather than the pads, but you can use your finger pads too, but I'm using my nails, or like the tips of my fingers, and I'm lightly tapping enough where I can feel a little bit of vibration. So the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th point is between your lower lip and your chin, so right in the middle there, on the front of your face, on your chin. This overwhelming feeling. The 7th point? The next point is your collarbone. So where your collarbone starts, there's 2 bones that you should feel in the front of, just at the base of your neck. 2 bones that stick out. Just pick one and just tap on that. This overwhelming feeling. And then there's a point where the line of your nipple is, but on the side where your ribs are. So this overwhelming feeling. This overwhelming feeling. This feeling of overwhelm. I am feeling overwhelmed. I am feeling overwhelmed by others' expectations of me. I am feeling overwhelmed by others' expectations of me. I am assuming the expectations that others have of me. I'm feeling overwhelmed by my assumptions. I'm feeling overwhelmed by my own expectations, because my own expectations are a reflection, or others' expectations are a reflection of my own expectations, right? No one can force you to do anything. Only you have the power to change yourself. So any expectations or feelings of guilt or feelings like you have to do something, you should do anything, it's not coming from anybody else. It's your perception that that's what they want. It's your assumption that it's coming from them. But really, these are my own expectations. And even though I know this, I completely love myself. I do. I get overwhelmed sometimes, feeling overwhelmed by others' expectations of me, letting others control me, feeling like I am controlled by other people. I feel like I have no control. I feel overwhelmed. I feel overwhelmed by my lack of control. And really, it's an over-control because I think I'm controlling other people's expectations of me by trying to control my own expectations for myself based on what I was taught. And perhaps it is from when I was a child and there were rules of other people that were put on me and I was taught to follow the rules. And I followed the rules very diligently. And I would get very upset when I would break the rules or if I didn't follow them precisely or if it made somebody upset if I did not follow the rules. And perhaps I carry that with me. So I feel overwhelmed as an adult because now I have all the responsibilities of an adult mixed with the fears of a child, and those mix together and cause overwhelm. And so I'm feeling overwhelmed by others' expectations of me. It's good to breathe. Breathing also helps release things. And right now I feel distant from that overwhelm. It doesn't feel like it's really necessary, and it doesn't feel like it's a part of me right now. I know that there's still some things I need to work on. So a good indication that you're getting to the root of the issue, because a lot of times if you have something like you're afraid of public speaking or you're feeling overwhelmed by others' expectations, even that is pretty generic. That comes from something else, typically. And usually it could be, most likely, it is a specific event, a traumatic event. It doesn't have to be physically traumatic, but to you and your memory and your cells, you have remembered that as a traumatic event and you've held on to that. And then that has become, your cells have sent that message throughout, right? So it's become normalized. And now you think that that is you. That becomes who you are. And so you're holding on to that. And so if you want that to be who you are, great. And if not, if it's something that you feel like you want to get over or that it's gotten in the way of you progressing, that's what you want to address and then have it be released. So I feel a little bit more relieved from that. I've also done a lot of work with guilt as well, so this kind of comes from that too. So try tapping, go through this sequence. Again, it's the crown of your head, inner eyebrow, outer eyebrow, high cheekbone right under your eye, between your nose and your upper lip, between your lower lip and your chin, your clavicle, the middle of your collarbone, and then the side, on the side where your nipple line is, right on the ribs, right on the side of your body. And that first point, that first area, really massage in there with your fingertips and get all of that lymph to release, because that's physically really good for you. And yeah, so give it a try. Hopefully this helped, and I will be on here again because there's always work to be done. All right, peace and love. Have a great day, evening. And may peace and balance enter your life.